In this lesson, we're going to look at another first-order differential equation, but this time the form of the equation on the right-hand side is an exponential and trig function. Now, I keep saying this because I hope you always remember. First step, solve the homogeneous. And as I mentioned before, if you haven't seen the video on the first order homogeneous, you need to look at that. So our homogeneous solution we had is equal to CE to the 3t. Now we need to solve our non-homogeneous. We come up with a test equation or test formula, and we want it to be some form like this up in the right hand side of the differential equation. So we're going to have a e to the negative 3t cosine of 2t. But remember, when we did this with the cosine, we also had to take into account the sine because we have this derivative that's going to throw a sign in there for me. So I need to add in b e to the negative 3t sine of 2t. And I can take and bring the e to the 2t out, or I'm sorry, e to the negative 3t, and this is my test. Now, because I want to develop this test solution through the derivative, because you're going to need to use the product rule and the chain rule, and this can get kind of messy. So you got to be careful how you do it. So I'm just going to do this part here, just the derivative. And I'm going to break it down into small parts. Because we got to use the product rule. Along with the chain rule. Okay, so let's use the product rule. I'll have e to the negative 3t derivative of a cosine 2t plus b sine 2t plus a cosine 2t plus b sine 2t derivative of e to the negative 3t. So I have e to the negative 3t. The derivative of this cosine, remember to use the chain rule, and don't forget that the derivative of the cosine is the negative sign, got to put the negative in there, plus 2b cosine 2t. So that is my first part. Now I'm going to have cosine 2t plus b sine 2t, and my derivative for e to the negative 3t is going to be negative 3 e to the negative 3t. Distribute the 3 through and simplify. I'm going to come up with let's see, if I do that through, then I'm going to have, well, I have e to the negative 3t in both terms. And if I put the negative 3 through, well, I'm going to have negative 3a cosine of 2t and plus 2b cosine 2t, and then we have negative 2a sine of 2t minus 3b sine of 2t. And I can simplify this out even further, which I'll do on the next page here. And that's going to be equal to e to the negative 3t. And let's see, put it like this so I can see. I have minus 3a plus 2b cosine 2t plus negative 2a minus 3b sine 2t. So that's just all it takes just to get the derivative. Now I can put this back into my differential equation, and that equation actually I'm going to specify that we're just putting the non-homogeneous solution in there. And I already know my derivative. I did forget to put brackets in here. we can simplify a little bit. And when we do that, we get negative 3a minus 3a plus 2b e to the negative 3t cosine of 2t plus negative 2a minus 3b minus 3b e to the negative 3t sine of 2t is equal to 5 e to the negative 3t cosine 2t. And remember, I have a sign on the left but not on the right, so I need to add 0 e to the negative 3t sine 2t. And you'll notice that all of the e to the negative 3t's go away, and I have the coefficients of the cosines must equal and the coefficients of the sines must equal. So now I have two equations, minus 6a plus 2b is equal to 5, and minus 2a minus 6b is equal to 0. The easiest way to solve this is to multiply the first equation by 3, so I'll get minus 18a plus 6b is equal to 15, and the second equation I can just leave as it is. And if I add those two equations together, I'm going to get negative 20a is equal to 15. So a is equal to negative 15/20, which is the same as negative 3/4. And I can take this solution, put it back into this equation. So I'm going to solve for b. Threes will cancel out, and I get a positive 1/4. So here are my two coefficients, and now I can write my solution. It's the combination of the homogeneous and the non-homogeneous CE to the 3t plus e to the negative 3t times the quantity minus 3/4 cosine 2t plus 1/4 sine of 2t. Write the 4 a little bit better. This is the complete solution to this problem. There is a lot of work involved just because of this product rule. The next video, I'm going to hopefully show you, prove to you, that using imaginary numbers we can come up with this solution a little bit easier.